Of course, the big news this weekend, no All-Star weekend, but it's an All-Star night extravaganza down there in the ATL. It all gets started at 6:30 Sunday evening when we get the skills challenge and the three-point contest. And then at 8 p.m., we will see the best players on the planet playing against each other in the All-Star game, and the slam dunk contest will be held at halftime of that game. So something different, something innovative from Adam Silver and the NBA as they're donating $3 million to HBCUs and towards COVID-19 relief funds. The court itself will have an HBCU-esque logos on it and to represent those colleges appropriately. But guys, I want to focus in on the two teams in question. Obviously, we saw the All-Star draft between LeBron James and Kevin Durant back on Thursday on TNT. I want to give you the starters now. LeBron was able to pick Giannis first. KD picked his fellow Nets teammate Kyrie Irving second. So here are your starters for Team LeBron. It's LeBron, Giannis, Steph, the Joker, and Luka Magic. And on the other side, Kevin Durant will not be playing in this year's All-Star game due to a left hamstring strain. So his team will be Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, and Jason Tatum. So DeLuca, we heard Giannis say in his post-game after that announcement, he was eating lemon pepper wings. Shout out to Drake for Lemon Pepper Freestyle, dropping that this weekend. But Giannis simply said, oh, it's over. DeLuca, when you look at these two starting fives, are you with Giannis? Is this clear-cut advantage for Team LeBron?
I think so. And LeBron has done this the last couple of years where he seems to be someone who would be well-equipped to be a GM, or at least compared to the rest of his constituents in the league where some other questionable decisions. But yeah, I mean, you get LeBron, Giannis, and Steph, and Luka for that matter. I don't know. That's pretty darn good as far as I'm concerned. And not to omit Jokic there, but just those four, when you start with that, is really impressive. And I know that Joel Embiid has been the MVP of the league in my estimation, but you look up and down that roster, that's really darn impressive. I mean, they are. It's an all-star game, for crying out loud. They're always going to be really good, but I like what Team LeBron has put together. I also understand it from KD's perspective, because if that keeps the peace with, we know how Kyrie Irving is, if that keeps the peace when they return back to Brooklyn, that KD's first pick was Kyrie, great, because that's really where the war is won for the Brooklyn Nets and for Kevin Durant. So maybe he's playing four-dimensional chess and is thinking a little outside the box here and saying, well, yeah, I probably could have taken Steph or Luka, or there might have been better options here, but you know what? I don't really want to hear about it, or Kyrie to leave for 2 weeks, so I'm going to do that. So I understand it from KD's perspective too, but yes, the nod goes to Team LeBron in this situation.
Yeah, I think the GM did a pretty good job, per usual, with his all-star drafts. I mean, it's just the sheer, obviously, star power is prevalent everywhere, but Giannis MVP, Steph unanimous MVP, Luka I think will be an MVP, and you could argue Jokic will be an MVP. It's just also, I think, with LeBron on this team, he may have 20, 25 assists, because obviously he's getting older. He doesn't have, he still can jump like he used to and make those highlight plays at the rim, but in an all-star game, there are other guys that could do that for him. So I really think LeBron's going to be the playmaker, if I keep going with the name puns here. But if I look at Team Durant, I think there are some sneaky guys on the team where who knows what Harden's going to do off the bench for them. Devin Booker actually won't be playing. He just got replaced by Mike Conley, so that's good that he finally got his first All-Star nod. And then you could also look at guys like, who knows, maybe Donovan Mitchell's not happy that he got drafted second to last. Julius Randle maybe wants to show something out for New York. But then Team LeBron, you could say the same thing. They've got Damian Lillard, Paul George on the bench. So it's a very just star-studded, of course, no pun intended, but star-studded squads. I don't think Team LeBron can lose, but then again, it's an all-star game. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, Kevin Durant, he was compromised coming into this draft because DeLuca mentioned it. He picks Kyrie first with the starters. Then he picks James Harden first with the reserves. And obviously those are great picks. But when you consider the rest of that pool, there are other guys that you should have drafted that you don't because you're choosing your teammates, that only favors LeBron. And then the dominoes are not going to drop your way. And I think LeBron really just took advantage of that, knowing that every other pick, there's going to be somebody on the board that shouldn't be because KD selected two guys who probably shouldn't have went right at the top. So I think LeBron's taking advantage. I'm sure all of LeBron's fans are going to Michael Jordan fans saying, you see what our guy can do? He can pick talent. What has MJ done? But, again, the Charlotte Hornets are playing better this year. So maybe some MJ fans would throw that back into LeBron fans' faces. But this is disgusting. You can't have five guys like that on the floor together. It's going to be a high scoring affair, but it might be one of those 178 to 135 type of games. If this starting lineup plays more than 20 minutes together, they're putting up at least 150 points. It's just, I can't see it, but I imagine it'll be competitive early. But with that starting lineup, depending on how the rotations are played, there's going to be a whole lot of fun on that side. Steph, Giannis, Luka, Joker, all great, phenomenal passers. LeBron, expect a lot of alley-oops and a lot of highlight plays from that starting five. Before we transition over into my other news, obviously two Knicks will be in two of those challenges that night. Julius Randle is going to be in the skills contest. Obi Toppin is going to be in the dunk contest. So Fada, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think has the better chance to win their respective contest on Sunday between Obi and Julius?
I'm going to go Obi, no question. The one thing that has been proven through his early days as a Knick is, even at Dayton, of course, you can see the dude can jump through the roof. I'm not sure. I think it's a relatively weak pool of competitors this year. It's also one less competitor in the dunk contest, so that also plays into his favor. I also think, I mentioned this on Wednesday night's show, I think it's huge for Obi Toppin's confidence to win this. Because he has obviously not had a spectacular rookie campaign yet. He did miss a few games, but he hasn't gotten the minutes he's hoped. He hasn't played as well as he's hoped. So if he wins this not only could bring, more support to the Knicks' hopes to keep it rolling for the playoffs in the second half of the season, but also it could give a sense of moral support for Obi if he wins this to think, I still got this. I can jump. I can do this. Let's get going for this season. So I think Obi's got the chance. Julius, though, he's been surprising all season, so who knows? But I'm still going to pick Obi, that guy with his jumping ability. I don't know if he can lose.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Nick, and I just think that Obi Toppin is really well equipped to, as you mentioned, perhaps win this dunk contest. And with the field that will be competing against him, and as you mentioned, we've seen the one thing he is not lacking is an ability to dunk the basketball. And there are questions about a lot of other things with him throughout this rookie season in the shooting and the defense and the way that he's been able to transition to the NBA. But the bounce is through the roof, and I think that he's in a good position. Julius Randle, as skilled as he has been, I don't feel like he's someone who's going to be overly competitive in the skills challenge. I think Obi Toppin has a great opportunity to win it. He's a guy who, even coming into the league, really reminded you of perhaps a bigger Zach LaVine in that way, and somebody who you felt like was going to be able to dunk with the best of them. So I actually do like Obi this weekend, not only is, which Knick has the better chance, but to be a serious contender to win the NBA dunk competition.
No, yeah, I think the spotlight is brighter for Obi with one less person, as Fada mentioned, and then the pool between Anthony Simons from the Blazers and Cassius Stanley from the Pacers. I think Obi should be the prohibitive favorite. But I would say with the skills challenge, the bigs always come to play for some reason. The bigs do very, very well. And we mentioned Julius Randle, how good of a passer he is. If he can get through that passing obstacle, I think he's somebody who can hit the three from the top of the key. He can dribble. He has quickness. So I would not be surprised if Julius Randle found himself in the finals against perhaps CP3 or Doncic, who is also there. But I think him, Domantas Sabonis are two bigs who can really do damage there for the skills contest.